Welcome to the Active Aging Resources Podcast. I'm Kathy, your host, here to support and celebrate the journey of aging. Each week, we'll chat with experts who'll share helpful tips and resources to help you live your best life. Be sure to subscribe and visit activeagingresources.com for insights and inspiration. Hello. Today, I am interviewing Munshi of Synergy Home Care. She works in the Metro West area. I want you to really discuss the towns that you visit. And we met at the 55 Plus Health and Wellness Fair in Framingham in October, and we immediately connected because of our shared passion for helping seniors. So, Uma, can you share the mission and core values of Synergy Home Care?
Absolutely. And by the way, Kathy, thank you for this opportunity. And it's been such a pleasure to get to know you more and see what you bring to the community.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. And Synergy Home Care is all about the synergy effect. And the synergy effect is about providing the best care, best services to different sectors of the community, to people that need it, so that they can lead the best life they can in the environment that they love the most, which is their home for the most part. And that could be an assisted living too, or it could be an independent living, or it could be living with their kids. But that's where they're the healthiest and they're at their best. And our job is to be there to support them to survive and thrive in that environment.
I love it. I love the aging in place no matter where they are.
Absolutely.
It's aging in space.
I like that, aging in space.
Right? What specific services do you provide?
We provide home care services, which could be round the clock. It could be live-in services. It could be short shifts, long shifts, depending on what you need, including transportation, personal care, taking care of you and your grocery needs, going out and doing chores for you, doing light housekeeping in the house. What we also provide is a lot of companionship. People often forget about that aspect of what we do. We bring companionship to somebody who's alone at home. That motivates them to not only have a conversation, but to feel better about themselves and do the chores with our help so that they don't lose that as they age. We also provide a lot of transportation to doctors' offices because a lot of our elderly can't really get to the doctor's offices, and usually the kids have to carve out time from their careers to do that. So we make it easier on the caregiver in their life and the person themselves. So we help with transportation. So we provide basically a lot of services.
I guess you do. How do you tailor your care plans to meet the individual needs of clients? How do you decide what they need, or do you work with their family members or them?
Very good question. For me, this is a passion. I'm a physical therapist by trade. So
Okay.
I love being able to go and meet somebody and assess them. And it's a free assessment with no strings attached, as I say. It's sometimes just meeting the person, figuring out what do they need, because not everybody needs the same things. They might have the same diagnosis, but different stages of the progression of the disease. So they could be needing a lot of services or just a couple of reminders like med reminders. So I go in, I meet with them, preferably with a family member present or the loved ones or a friend. Sometimes it's a friend or neighbor who's been with them for 20 years, who's supported them. And I try to understand what is it that they need to keep them at their optimal functional level in their house. And that's how we develop a care plan. But as you know, Kathy, you know this very well. People are aging, so the care plan changes and evolves over time, as
Exactly.
does our services. So that's how
Yes.
we do it.
Do you offer specialized services for conditions such as dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's?
Yes, absolutely. We do anywhere from after delivering a baby to a younger lady who needs services at home
Oh,
to young adults with disability because their parents have to go to work, and
sure.
then to the geriatric community with dementia, Parkinson's, early stages of Parkinson's, or post surgical, or even something like just progressive dementia with no real diagnosis attached to it. Because
Mhm.
our caregivers are trained in all the aspects of care. So when I do that assessment, I decide which caregiver is the best fit, who's trained the most for this particular person. So yes, we absolutely have very person-centered care plans developed for each of the situations that we work with.
What about the qualifications and training of your caregivers?
They are certified nursing aides for the most part.
They are, okay.
They are. So they have dementia training as part of their training, obviously. And we do 6 month ongoing training with different topics. It could be sensitivity training, it could be how to handle a patient with aggressive behaviors. We take the help of a lot of resources to keep them with ongoing education. We also use home health aides. And
Hmm.
then in some cases that are just transportation or doing housekeeping, we have personal caregivers who are not a home health aide or a certified CNA.
All right. And how do you support your caregivers in their roles? I know that it must be kind of stressful sometimes for them.
Yes. And two of the most important things we do, Kathy, taking care of our patients and
Yes,
taking care of the staff that provide the care. Because if we can take care of our caregivers, they'll provide the best care with our clients.
I love that.
So honestly, we start from onboarding. From the minute we onboard them, they become part of our core team. Our
Hmm.
job is to be available to them no matter what the time is, what the hours are. We have 24/7 on call scheduling. So if a caregiver is not finding the right environment or she's not happy with the client or something's happening, they can pick up the phone and call, even at midnight. So we have
Wonderful.
somebody live answering, which is so important because they need that support. We also make sure that we realize how hard their work is.
Hmm.
We want to constantly, it's easy to discipline people. I'd much rather work with people and support them through the good and the bad. And that kind of environment that they're part of a team. Because as you know, home care, they're in different places. They're
Right.
not coming to the same environment. And
It's
that's why it's so much harder and yet so much more important to make them feel like part of a team. So that's what our ongoing effort is always.
I love that. What's the typical onboarding process for a new client?
The onboarding process for a regular client is my free assessment. We
Okay.
develop a care plan. We give them the options of how much care do you need. Sometimes we have to guide them because a lot of time people think they need more than they really need. And
I
then
was wondering
sometimes,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they always want to go in all in. The kids want to do that. And I always say, you have limited resources. Let's
Hmm.
figure out what does she need today, and then
Hmm.
we'll make a care plan as it evolves. And then the other aspect of the spectrum is when people think they hardly need anything, and we have to kind of educate them through the process. So it takes a little bit of time to the care plan to evolve with the patient and their loved ones, because everybody has to agree, because they're paying. It's private duties, mostly privately paid. Sometimes mass health pays, sometimes long-term care insurances will pay, but again, that's an education process. So we
Sure.
work with them, we onboard them, we take all the paperwork of all the resources they have to see who can help with the payments, and
Hmm.
then we start the caregiving. Basically, a scheduler will be in touch with the family. We let them know who's coming in because it's so important for them to know who's coming in. It's a new person in their home, right? So I try to pass on the baton. I try to be there at the transition of every care.
Okay.
So
That
that's how
sounds
we
like
do it.
a good plan. How are you involved, or Synergy Home Care? How are you involved in the local community?
I feel like we're an extension of the local community. And I think
Okay.
that's really true because I go to senior centers and always people think you're visiting a senior center to get clients. I'm not selling anything. I
Mm.
want the senior centers to be aware there's a service available. It could be just my free assessment. It could just be us coming and discussing the different options they have to age in place.
Yes.
We try to participate in the local community events. Anywhere I can help with education, I feel you and me meeting have been such a great synergy. That's a word I'm going to
I
use. The
love that word. Yeah.
and you and me are going to be in the community doing the same thing, educating people, right? So I think that's how we become part of the community.
Outreach, education. Yeah, absolutely. Are there any upcoming events or initiatives that you're excited about?
I hate bringing it always back to you. It's almost like I'm going you. But I think the most exciting event that I'm thinking of in my head is you and me planning to do more of those education and being a resource to the community so that we can provide the whole continuum of services available. Because you
Yes,
have so many connections in the community, Kathy, where people don't need to leave their house. Their bathrooms could be fixed. They could have more services. You bring that knowledge base, and I bring one aspect of that knowledge. So I think that is what I'm excited about, is the
I'm
wide
excited about
spectrum
it
of
too.
services. So
Yeah,
that's what I think is going to be amazing.
I love it. What are some of the challenges you're facing in the home care industry today? What's going on?
Couple of things. I think one of them is going to be, obviously, it always is, finding the right talented caregivers. It's not about finding a caregiver, but the right talent who
Okay.
actually wants to do this as a career, not as a job. So we
Yeah.
are always looking for that.
Okay.
Because we are giving people to these caregivers who really need the help. This is
Yeah.
not a place you can call out last minute. This is not a place that you can be on your phone and not look at the client. So this is a big challenge right now. Not only hiring talent, keeping them motivated, and also educating them about the do's and don'ts, but do it in a way that's more educational. Uh,
Right.
so that's a huge challenge right now. And then the other challenge that I think we are facing today is the fact that though there's so much of aging happening, the sandwich generation, which is mostly you and me, are unaware of all the resources. So they are out there looking for something that's not available or missing what is available. So I think trying to
Very true.
educate them about that is so critical.
So
And
critical.
it is so critical. So those are the two major challenges today.
Okay. So if you were hiring someone, do you offer them education and training?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We always have to, it's ongoing. Healthcare is an ongoing, evolving situation. So we have
Sure.
to train them. So they could be trained in a certain aspect of body mechanics with how to transfer a patient. But once I assess the patient, I want to make sure that they go review that with me so that I know we do their competencies at higher and then ongoing to make sure that they know the skill sets. Because though we are a non medical company, we are still taking care of people. So we
Absolutely.
do that ongoing constantly.
It's a people business.
Yep.
So how do you see the future of home care evolving?
That is actually one of the most exciting things also is the
Okay.
baby boomers, as they're
Hmm.
aging, are changing
Hmm.
the pace of how people want to age.
Longevity is growing daily. I mean,
It is.
10,000 adults a day are turning 65.
And you know what's interesting about that is we are no longer in the generation where the expectations were low. Right
Right.
now, the generation that's aging is defining how they want to age.
That's
So
so
they
true.
are defining the services they want, they're defining the expectations, and that's pushing people like you and me to the next level. And I think that's what's so exciting about it because you're providing a service with the emerging needs. You're
Yeah.
not just, it's not a stagnant situation. And as you just mentioned, the aging population is going to grow, and home care is a much needed thing, not just because home care is better than any other environment, but
Hmm.
I think our facilities are so challenged with the funding and the ability to hire people that more people want to stay at home. And of course,
Right.
there'll be some people who belong in the facility, but for the most part, most people want to age at home or in an assisted living. And I think our need is just going to keep growing.
I think the statistics are that 70% of people want to age in place, but really only 30% do. Because in the end, sometimes they do need skilled nursing or they do need full time assisted
Absolutely. But
care.
they also need that guidance for us to be able to tell them that.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
sometimes they're failing at home and they don't know why, and they think more services will keep them at home, and it's not. So it's a fine balance of being true to the community and educating people. There is a time and a place for everything.
I agree. I so agree. What advice would you give to families now considering home care for their loved one, their mom, their dad?
It's very hard for the sandwich generation. I keep coming back to them as they're picking for home care. It's not something you can just go on Google and pick. You need to do your research.
I
You
know.
need to figure out, because not every home care is the same. It's not about good or bad. It's the right fit for your parent, for your
Exactly.
situation, for your loved ones. Whether they can do the short shifts. What happens when a caregiver calls out? What do they do with that? Who is coming in to do the assessment of your family? Are these caregivers bonded, and was their background checks done? There's just so many things to ask. What is the payment schedule? Get all that cleared right up front. There should
Mhm.
be no hidden cost anywhere. You're signing an agreement. What are your rights as the loved ones of the patient? What are the patient's rights? What are your expectations? What will they deliver? Who's monitoring it? How do you know the quality of care provided in the house? Because nobody else but the patient and the caregiver are there. So
That's
there's
true.
so many things to ask. And I think those things need to be asked. And sometimes the answers are what you want, and sometimes they're not. And that's why you need to interview more than one agency.
That's amazing. What's the most rewarding aspect of your work?
I love what I do.
I
I
can tell.
absolutely love what I do.
You're passionate about it.
I am. I love it. I mean, I cannot believe the opportunity that we have right now, Kathy, to help so many people with our knowledge base and our connections and our resources and make them safer. Just make it a safer community, a more educated community. And when you have that one person who you put in the right environment, give the right support, and now they're not falling anymore and they can actually thrive, amazing. You don't
Right?
need anything else as a thank you.
I mean, I've heard that with the right home care, people, they thrive.
They do.
So all of a sudden, instead of saying, "Oh, mom, she needs to get into an assisted living," she's doing so well. She's fine. She's happy. She's feeling better. She's not lonely. There's so much
Take them
that
out for a walk.
synergy home care can provide.
It's interesting because imagine me alone in my house when I'm 70 years old and I might fall or trip. But now I have somebody who's going to talk to me, take me out, do all the things I wanted to do. I can go
Right.
out for brunch with my friends even now because somebody else is driving me and I don't have to depend on anybody else. It's just wonderful.
It is wonderful. How long have you owned this business?
2 years actually.
2 years. Wow. You are so impressive with all you've done. And you have 70 employees now?
90 actually today.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we're
Wow.
very blessed. We are very blessed. I have a fantastic team in the office of a scheduler and office manager. I do all the community work, and we have we had 70, and it's grown to 90.
Fast. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us what towns you serve.
We are based in Franklin.
Hmm.
Our map is huge. We go all the way up to Marlborough, Hudson, Worcester, Shrewsbury. We do Boston, Brighton, Newton. We go as far as Lexington, Wellesley. We are doing Route 3, any of those towns, Plymouth, Weymouth. We are also going down to Attleboro, Brockton. We have some clients on the Cape. So we are all over the place.
You sure are.
Yeah, love it. I love it because you know what? It's about finding the right caregiver for the right client. And when I can't do it, I have partners in other home care companies that I trust, and I'll
Okay.
always refer it because I do not want to take on a responsibility I can't fulfill.
Yeah, that's very smart. Very smart of you. All right. My last question to you is there a book you'd recommend for families to read who are facing the challenges of caring for an older adult or family?
I wish I had the one name of a book on dementia. There are
You can
so
name a
many books
couple.
out there for dementia. I personally believe this is what I believe. I think what they need to do is really join Alzheimer's associations,
Okay.
agingcare.com associations, because they will be emailing you not just about the dementia process,
Mhm.
but what they email is every day to day things you need. So,
Okay.
I mean, I am a clinician, been a clinician for 25 years. I'm signed on with Parkinson's Association and Alzheimer's and aging.com because they send you so much information of how to deal with, like the winters are around the corner, things to watch out for your loved ones.
Yes.
Elderly, the dehydration and the slippery floors and not dressed up warm enough, not eating enough because they're not thirsty anymore. So they're not drinking enough. But
Uh,
they will also talk about the signs of depression. They talk about signs of dementia progressing. So there's just so many things that I honestly believe I could give you a list of books. But
okay.
I also think they need to join a ton of these online resources because it's up to date today's information.
That makes so much sense. I mean, there's so much new information coming out, so many studies being done.
Many.
Yeah, and I'm trying to keep up with it on a daily, hourly basis. But you're right. I agree with that. They should look into all of the associations.
Because
Yep,
there's resources you don't even know about. Go to your
that's true.
senior centers. They'll sign you up and they'll call you for all the lectures. They'll send you materials because they are constantly dealing with it.
I
Aging is
agree.
a big process right now everywhere.
It sure is. Every industry. It's
Yeah,
hitting every industry.
that's true.
Well, I think we've had a great conversation, and I think you've been extremely informative about what your company offers and the importance of it. The last thing I think I'd like to know is how people are able to get in touch with you. If they need assistance, what do?
Well, they can always call our main number, Synergy Home Care of Greater Boston. It's
Okay.
781-762-1119, or go
Hmm.
on the website, synergy.com, synergyhomecare.com.
Okay. I'll have that information below.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Great talking with you.
Same here.
All
Have a
right.
nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Then wait. Uma, do you have any tips or advice for families caring for a loved one with dementia during the upcoming busy, crazy holiday season?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. During the holiday season, I think two of the biggest things they should watch out for is overwhelming entertaining around their elderly that have mild dementia or progressing dementia, because that's just too much on them.
Yes.
Or sometimes families, out of the goodness of their heart, want to take them away from their home and put them in their home for a while. And it's a new environment. So, though you feel you do not feel it's safe for your loved one or your mom to stay at home alone and you want to have them in your house, be smart about how you set it up. It's a new environment. They're not the mom that was there 5 years back. So be smart about it. Make sure they're not going to trip and fall. Your house might not be ready for it. Make sure that there is somebody to take care of them while you're going out for parties or doing anything else. Make sure when there's a lot of entertaining happening, you need to see how your mom or dad are feeling to be included or not included. Because keep in mind, winters make it harder because everybody is a little bit more depressed because of the darkness coming on earlier and down faster. So, depending on what kind of dementia it is, you've got to be more sensitive towards it, which
Uh,
means you need to make sure the lighting in your house, you need to make sure you have some extra care there. Make sure that their food habits are not drastically changing. Make sure that you're keeping an eye on their fluid intake and whether they're doing their meds on time. Holidays make it a lot more chaotic, though happy but chaotic. So, also be patient. Be patient and pace yourself, and don't blame yourself if you want to go out for partying and your mom and dad or your significant other may not want to join you. It's okay.
it's
Keep them
okay.
safe at home. You do your thing,
Mhm.
because the caregiver needs to be cared for too. So it's both sides.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful advice. Thank you. Okay, we're good.
All right.
Amazing.
Thank you. You are amazing.
That
You're
was
such a
fantastic.
natural. You're such a natural. You just
Say it
go.
again.
You're such a natural. You just flow with
You
it.
think I'm a natural? Oy, oy, oy.
Just
I'm
take the
doing so many
compliment.
things that are out of my comfort zone. I can't even tell you.
You're doing it.
It's
I know the feeling because I'm doing that.
right,
Yeah.
but it's
Trust
so
me.
good for us.
It is.
It's so.
Oh, I got a great contact at Franklin Senior Center.
Oh, who?
She does some pharmacy something. I have her information. I'm going to send you a picture of the card, but I'm also going to email her because they're trying to create a senior, a small committee for the seniors, like in the community. So
Um.
I wonder if you and me can become a part of that.
Well, um, we could think of something that we could do, like
A
uh,
presentation. We would love to be do a presentation. Trust me.
would they like a presentation?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. Is it? We have to get in front of them, do
Yeah.
some kind of a table, some kind of a presentation, so that people hear about us, people hear,
Okay.
and then we can say, okay, now what?
Okay. And that is one thing that I have been talking to my people about, my coaches, and they think it's a fabulous idea. One thing they have a lot of luck with all over everywhere. Actually, the woman that is my coach is from Naples, Florida, so she's dealing with a huge population of elderly, and
Elderly.
she does a downsizing club. So, and she
Really?
does it at the local senior center.
Why don't you
So
start that?
I think I will start that. Yeah, so I can go talk to them. But with the downsizing club could come, you come in and talk about home care
Yep.
and what your people see, because I'm sure that part of home care is making sure that the house is visitable.
Yeah,
You
that's
know how
true.
you talked about at the end, it has to be visitable, and there have to be less tripping hazards, and there's so much that goes into
There is a
decluttering.
ton that goes into it. And you know what? We should do that. We should actually try to go and talk about that and talk about me, but put you in the forefront because you're the one who's helping them downsize. And
Yeah.
I think it would be huge because I'm telling you, the senior centers, honestly, I'm telling you, senior centers are the way to go.
Okay.
They have a captive audience and they have all the connections in the world.
Okay. But the only thing you can't talk about is you really can't push your business there. They don't want you to do that, right?
No, they don't care.
They don't care.
They
Okay.
don't care.
All right. So the
That's what
person that
no,
you connected with at Franklin, did you say she's some kind of a pharmacy? A pharmacy?
pharmacy person who's trying to do med management so that people don't have to do high expensive copay.
Oh,
So
oh,
I'm
oh.
getting her information because
You
that's
don't offer that, right?
say that again.
You don't offer medicine dispensing.
We don't do it medicine dispensing. We can't.
Okay.
We do med management and we can give
Okay.
them the meds that are dispensed. Um, have you seen these people ever?
Sisters.
Two sisters.
No.
They are on LinkedIn all the time.
What?
I
Two
met them.
sisters?
Yeah, it's called Two Sisters Senior Living Advisors. So they're similar to what you do.
I think their placement probably.
Yes, but they are more placement. So what I would do is I am going to I asked her for a meeting and
Okay.
how I can get on the thing and if I can get her a meeting, which she will. She seemed really nice. I'm going to
Okay.
send you her information anyways, so you
All
can
right.
email her
Oh,
anyways. You know?
perfect. Yeah, I'd like to get involved with I'm not looking to be the agent that places people to get that commission. It's not a lot of money. I don't necessarily need that. So
No,
if I was working with someone
but you
who
could partner with somebody like that.
exactly, because they'll give me the house, because that's my expertise in preparing a home for sale, and their expertise is placing
I
people.
would love to meet with your people, your coaches, and
Oh, you're going
figure out
to.
how we both can kind of
Oh,
push this through.
we're going to. We're going to kill this.
We had better.
They believe in me so much. I can't believe what they're
You
doing.
are,
There are five of them.
because you are very, you do, I don't think you understand who you are.
I don't.
I think that's why I came to your life, to make you understand who you are.
That's a good thing. Yes. One's working on my mindset.
Yes, because I don't have much confidence in myself sometimes, and you help me with that.
I think you do.
No, I am confident about who I am versus
Mhm.
what I'm doing. Like I can provide the service, I'm very confident about that. But to
Yes.
go out and network and speak up, that's just not who I was ever. So this
Yeah.
is a
See, I like
new
this is a new you. Okay. So
yeah.
I love to meet new people. The networking part I'm pretty good at.
See, mine
Speaking in
because I never
public,
had
I don't know how good I'm at that.
I love speaking in public. So the two of us
uh,
are perfect. You network,
how do you love that?
please. Actually, honestly, okay, so I'll give you a hint of how you can be comfortable doing it.
Yes,
You are speaking about something that you're passionate about that
it's
nobody
true.
else feels the same way as you.
Right?
And you know more about it than the others do.
Yeah,
And there'll be questions you won't be able to answer. And it's
it's true.
fine. People like honesty. It's okay. I don't have all the answers. Who cares? I don't want the answer. I
I
learn the
don't
answer.
have all the answers.
No,
I do not have what
I
you have.
definitely want to see you love networking. So I think that's why you and me are going to be good tandem.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
And that's why I like senior centers because you're not speaking in public, you're meeting people, you're networking the
Meeting
people who
people.
stop by the table.
Okay. All right. We'll do that then.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you so much. Let me know if this podcast, once you do it, so that I can tell my kids to look it up.
Absolutely. Chuck will work on it
Thank
in
you.
the next week. All right. I will talk to you soon. If you need anything from me, let me know.
No, but once your flyer is made on the two sides because you're flip-flopping it on, should I just take the one you gave and I'll get it done with mine?
Whatever you want.
That's what I'll do. I'll just go to Staples and get it done.
That's what I was going to do. All
Yeah.
right. Do that. I have business cards being made. I've got my trifold being made.
Tell your
One
hubby
tip that
you're
came,
gonna kill.
say it again.
Tell your hubby we'll we'll do this.
Okay. We're going to do it. We're good.
Yeah, your hubby needs to know that feel confident. We are gonna do it. Trust me, I'm on my own right now with salary. So I gotta do it too.
Okay. So you understand. Yeah. I have to do this.
We don't have a choice. And that's the only time you and me will do it because we don't have a choice. Let's just
I
face it.
have no choice.
Yeah.
No. I felt really bad because my daughter called and she and her husband want to buy a house and they were short. They were short a lot of money and she asked me for it. I said, right now, I cannot touch our savings for the future. We don't want to be a burden on you kids.
No.
I can't do it right now. And my cash flow isn't, if I had a commission coming next week, I'd hand it over to you, but I don't. So yeah,
And you know what? That's okay. Because when you
it's
tell me
okay.
truly what's happening, I don't feel bad when I tell my kids now that, look, I'm on my mom's on her own.
Right.
Like now I'm not working. I don't have a six figure coming in.
Right.
Me.
Exactly.
So, and they understand that. And I have to cut my coat according to the cloth I have. It's just how it is.
It's
And
what
it's
you
my
have to
own
do.
business. So it is what it is. It's gonna thrive. I'm not worried.
And I'm not worried. I am so not worried. I am so feeling positive and I don't know. And then you and I met. Again, we're gonna kill it. Okay. We'll talk soon. All right, you too. Bye. Boom, boom, boom. Thanks for spending time with us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and share it with those who would appreciate it. Don't forget to visit activeagingresources.com for more heartwarming stories and invaluable resources. Until next time, remember to take care, stay active, and cherish every moment of your journey. We're here to help you every step of the way.